Welcome everybody to this pick a card reading. My name is Gabby Turner, and in this video we're going to be looking at your person's thoughts and feelings regarding you and your connection. We have 4 reading options here for you. Option number 1 is 5th chakra, creative expression. So that's option number 1. Option number 2 is sacral chakra, abundance. I just chose all of these cover cards randomly from my little chakra deck. So option number 3 is the base chakra or the root chakra, building a strong foundation. So that's option number 3. And our final option, option number 4, is also the base chakra or the root chakra, patience. So go ahead and take a moment to tune into your intuition and figure out which option or options seem to be calling out with a message for you. Again, we're going to be looking at your person of interest or your romantic partner's thoughts and feelings for you, and kind of how they're seeing the connection as a whole. There will be an extended reading option, and if you want to learn more about that, I'll mention it again at the end of each of the individual readings, but that will be $7.77. You can pay just a singular purchase for your extended reading, or you can join me on Patreon and have access to all of the extended readings for this video, as well as a lot of other great content, including exclusive pick a card videos. So both of those will be for the same price, basically, if you want to join Patreon at the initial tier of $7.77. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. I do feel, for any of you who are still listening, which is probably not most of you, but I think we might get a look into some of the shadow aspects of these connections. It's just a feeling that I got as I was laying out the cards. I don't know if partly it's just because of the time of the year that we're approaching, but we'll see what comes up. Maybe it will be on a case-by-case basis. Maybe some of the readings will delve into that more than others. But let's go ahead and get started. All right, group 1, welcome to your reading. You chose this 5th chakra, throat chakra card. And the other card that just kind of defines the overall connection for you is this change and progress card. So this is all based on your person's perception. So their perception may not be the same as yours. Their perception may or may not be accurate, but this is just how they're seeing the connection. I feel like they do view the two of you as making progress, especially as it comes to communication and being able to, kind of openly express your feelings to each other, being able to communicate harmoniously and productively, basically. They do see that that's an area where the two of you have had to make progress. I think that there have been moments when the communication has been difficult. Maybe even there's been hostility or unpredictability or a sense of chaos. Again, as they perceive it, they feel that this is the case, and they do see a sort of hopeful improvement here for the two of you as far as that goes, however. So I think they're seeing that maybe that's becoming less problematic. But I do think that overall, because these cards right here are representing your energy and how they see your energy, they do view you as someone who is very unpredictable. You're represented by Mercury, Thief, and Destruction, and then this Leonard Cohen song, Suzanne, which is kind of about, they feel that they're in love with someone who they never really know what they're going to get with you, And you know that she's half crazy, but that's why you want to be there. And she feeds you tea and oranges that come all the way from China. And just when you mean to tell her that you have no love left to give her, then she gets you on her wavelength and she lets the river answer. that you've always been her lover, and you want to travel with her, and you want to travel blind. And you know that she will trust you, for you've touched her perfect body with your mind, and you want to travel with her, and you want to travel blind. Which is interesting because it really kind of fits the, you know, the imagery here on this card. We have this little cat here that's very nervous, you know, but he's trying to trust that this guy knows what he's doing and that everything is safe. So I kind of feel like this is how they are viewing you, you know, like just when they're like, okay, you're too destructive, you're too chaotic, I never know what to expect from you, and I think I need to move on. Then you pull them back in, you know, like you kind of have, with this Mercurian thief, it's like you're a thief of their heart, you know, like you know what to do and you know what to say to pull them back in. So they do feel hopeful that this time things will be better, you know. They think, okay, maybe we've already passed all of the destructive waterfalls and now it's just calm waters ahead. You know, that's what they're trying to think. But certainly along the way, not all of the waters have been calm between the two of you. I do think that this is a very long-standing connection because in the center, you know, we have nostalgia, we have constancy, and we have Aquarius, which is a fixed sign. So I do feel like this is an ongoing connection. The two of you do have quite a history here, and there's a lot to think about in terms of nostalgia. And, you know, when they think about your past together, there's a lot of love there, but there are also a lot of difficult moments that the two of you have had. Let's see what else this Aquarius card says. Assertive, independent, cool, idealistic, original, detached, opinionated, intellectual, individualistic, eccentric. Yeah, so again, I feel like with the Star card, they're very captivated by you, and maybe the two of you are just very captivated by each other, and you're kind of fixed in each other's spotlight in a way. It's like you can't escape each other, but at the same time, there are a lot of abrupt changes. But the two of you seem to hold on to this connection despite that somehow. They do think about you a lot. We have on their end thought and Sun, the bringer of life. They do feel that you are an important part of their life purpose. You know, they feel very strongly identified with you. They feel a sense of warmth and happiness and vitality with you. So they do think that there's a reason that the two of you were brought together, and especially with this fifth dimension card, they feel that the love that the two of you share goes far beyond the material realm. And on their end, they recognize here, the song that they have says, don't ask me if I am ready for love, because I'm probably not thinking I'm good enough. Don't ask me if I can accept what you give, because I'm probably not quite ready for it. So, you know, maybe the two of you have been stuck in a sort of perpetual ongoing cycle of not letting go of each other, but not totally submitting to the connection as well. And from their end of it, you know, they feel that part of it for them is that they don't know if they are deserving of. It could be a self-worth issue as well. Like they don't know that they're deserving of all of what this love could bring. But they do also feel like there are lots of surprises. And in particular, on your end, they feel that there are lots of abrupt changes that you tend to bring about, and they never really know what to expect from you. So again, that is from their perception. That may not be your perception of things. And of course, for some of you, these energies could be switched as well. All right, tell us a little bit more about what are they thinking about? Just what's on their mind right now. I think a lot of what's on their mind is these instabilities. You know, they are concerned. I mean, I think they have optimism and faith that the two of you can iron this out and get to a more serene place going forward, that things are improving. But they're still concerned about those instabilities when they look at the past and when they look at the pattern that the two of you have. They definitely feel that there is a very strong love between the two of you. They think that this love is mutual. You know, they feel that both of you are really very attached to each other. Wow. And you're attached to each other, you know, on some level in healthy ways, but in some level it's unhealthy as well. I think they feel that the two of you are compatible in a material sense. So in terms of your lifestyles and how you want to live your lives, they think that that's compatible. Like the type of lifestyle you want to have, especially financially, they think it works. And in terms of the type of social life that the two of you have, it works. You know, you both have the same desire for, you know, do we want to be a very sociable couple? Do we not? Do we feel comfortable letting each other spend a lot of time with other friends and family or not? You know, all of that seems to be on the same page for the two of you from their perspective. And also, you know, like the values you have regarding money, the type of home you would want to have, where you would want to live, your approach to your professional life, also your approach to sex, you know, with the Devil card and the Queen of Pentacles. You just have the same sort of values. I'm also hearing the word aesthetic. So maybe, you know, the way that each of you would want to decorate your home or the types of cars you would want to drive. You know, the Devil has to do with the most like material aspects of life, the very earthbound aspects of life. And they think when it comes to those things, you all seem to be at ease with each other, you know. You seek out the same creature comforts in life. Maybe you like the same type of food. You know, if you're a person who likes to cook a lot at home, that fits their preferences as well. If you're someone who likes to go out to certain types of restaurants, that fits their preferences, etc., and so on. It's just a compatibility issue. And they do feel also, you know, there have been difficult communications between the two of you in the past, but at the same time, they do feel like the two of you are pretty good at letting the other one know how you feel. It could be that in the past, you know, maybe those letting the other person know how you feel has come through argumentativeness on one or both sides, rather than just calmly explaining the feelings. But the feelings have always been explained, you know. This isn't a connection where people are holding back their feelings. Feelings are being shown. Feelings are being shared. And I think that's important because I see as a reader a lot of connections where people really are holding back and hiding their emotions. That doesn't seem to be the case here. At least that's not how your person is seeing it. They do feel like that's maybe a strength here as well. Even though you've had to maybe iron it out and smooth it out so you can express those feelings more calmly or more productively, at least you both know more or less where you stand with each other in an emotional sense, you know? And you both know that the other person is in love. I mean, you both know that you're in love with each other. So if that's not the case for your connection and you don't think that your person could ever believe that, then this probably is not your reading. Because this is a connection where both people definitely know that the other one has feelings for them. And neither person is trying to hide it. So let's look. I mean, if that's the case, then you probably already know what their feelings are. But let's look into it, because sometimes there can be nuances in a person's feelings. And so we'll just pick up on a little bit more about that. What are this person's feelings towards you? We have the 5 of Pentacles, High Priestess, 10 of Pentacles, Mm. Well, again, I think that there's a sense of hopefulness in terms of the long term. They feel over the long term with you, you all have what it takes to last. And that kind of fits with this constancy card as well. They feel that this could easily be a very long-lasting relationship. But they also have a lot of uneasy feelings, you know. I feel like this relationship does give them a lot of worries. They are in their mind a lot with their worries and anxieties. I think they view you as someone who trusts your intuitions and your instincts, and you will act very quickly on those instincts and intuitions, sometimes in ways which are hard to understand, which again goes back to this sort of like unpredictable, chaotic energy that you represent to them, whether or not you view yourself that way. And so they're like, okay, sometimes you seem to get something in your head that makes you act very dramatically in a certain type of way. Maybe they view it as acting out behavior, or, just something that's dramatic or chaotic, or some sort of shift, dramatic shift in your behavior, what you're saying, what you're doing. And so it's like they're always kind of on edge. They're always waiting. Okay, when's the next moment when, group one is going to be doing this? It's not like they feel like they can't endure this, because again, the 10 of Pentacles shows me that they do feel like the two of you have what it takes to last. And maybe they even think that at some level they do the same to you, Maybe they think that their behavior is sometimes hurtful to you, and it's a little bit of a ping pong back and forth where you both kind of have a sort of erratic energy. I mean, they know what to expect from their own energy, right? So they could be erratic as well. And it's just that doesn't take them as much by surprise as when you are erratic, because you're a different person. So they can't see it coming as much with you. With themselves, they can see it coming. So their feelings are, what are their feelings? I don't know. There's like a sort of... what is the word? Dread? There's a sort of feeling of dread here, It's like hopeful dread, because the lasting quality of this relationship they think they can count on. That they also sort of dread the fact that there are probably going to be these issues that arise again that kind of, take them by surprise and maybe really trigger a lot of difficult emotions in them. Tell us more about this feeling of dread that they have. Wow. Yeah, it's like, because they really want this to improve, like this is a very mirroring energy. They feel hopeful that it is improving. But then at the same time, they have this sort of dread or worry that it won't improve, and that the two of you will just always be triggering each other, a very long-lasting relationship where you're always just triggering each other's most difficult emotions. And that's not easy. And there's a lot of love here holding the two of you together. Yeah, and then we have the Ace of Cups. So I don't know, it's like a hopeful dread, a mixture of hopefulness that things will get better, but dread that it won't. What should group one know about that emotion that their person is having? Like, what's a helpful, what would your spirit guides want to say to you about the fact that your person is feeling this way? Well, first of all, they wouldn't want you to be too overly worried. Don't get into an anxious mindset, because, the Nine of Swords has to do with, it's like, my metaphor for this card is always when we think we see a monster across the room, we're in a dark bedroom and we think there's a monster. And then when you turn on the lights, you see it's just a coat hanging on the wall. It's what you were worried about isn't really worthy of your worry once you are sort of more enlightened and can see it for what it is. So that's their first message. Don't worry too much about the fact that this person is having sort of like conflicted emotions. You know, despite the fact that they might have these worrisome emotions, that doesn't mean that their worries are really grounded in reality either. And the thing is, the reason that they can maintain a sense of hopefulness despite this dread that they're feeling is because they also have this insight themselves that the two of you have a very, high vibrational love. They know what the promise of this connection truly is. And they also know that they're kind of scared of that promise, so that's in a way part of what they dread is even if it worked out and everything did get healed, because they're not prepared for that. I think that this person probably hasn't experienced that before. And it's scary sometimes, even when good things happen to us, having a very stable, harmonious, long-lasting relationship is scary too, because what does that mean? Even if the two of you stay together till death do you part, well, I mean, death is going to do you part at some point, not to be morbid, but, even under the best of circumstances, there are normal fears that this person is facing. So the fact that they feel dread is not a reason for you to feel anxious. This is an emotional experience that they have to work through, and it's kind of a normal emotional experience for someone to have, when they know that there's so much potential and there's so much love with someone and that the future is so potentially bright, it makes sense that they would also have worries about that not working out in the way that they hope, or that even if it does work out in the way that they hope, at some point, at some point, if it's, just death does you part, that's a scary thought as well, to think that they could lose you or that they could leave you behind. Again, this is morbid. We are kind of getting into the shadow aspect. I mentioned this in the intro that I had that feeling. But these fears of like the ultimate potential of, is it better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all? That's kind of what your person is facing right now in a pretty significant way. That's what their emotional mindset is. All right. So I think that's a pretty good thorough overview of their thoughts and feelings. In the extended, we'll look at what do they want to come of this going forward? What behaviors are you going to see? Like what actions are they going to be taking? And what will be happening between the two of you going forward? So what's the likely outcome moving forward? Let's say over the next maybe 4 to 6 weeks. So what do they want? What actions will they be taking? What is the likely outcome? And then we'll get a channeled message from them to you and some guidance from your spirit guides, some guidance and support for you regarding the connection or anything else your spirit guides have to say. So that's what we're going to cover in the extended reading. If you want to join me for that, it's $7.77. You can purchase just the extended reading for this video. And there's a link to that in the timestamps. Or you can join me on Patreon for the same price, and you'll have access to all of the extended readings for this video, as well as other great content, such as other pick-a-card readings. And, all right. So, guys, this has been a great reading overall. So if you just feel like you got what you needed from this, thank you so much for watching till the end, and I'll see you around. Welcome, everybody who chose option number 2. So we're going to be looking at your person's thoughts and feelings. And before we get into it, I just want to remind you that everything I'm saying in this reading is your person's perception of things. So we're going to be talking about their perception of themselves, of the connection, and of you. And their perception may not be the same as yours. Their perception may or may not be the reality. but we're just asking about what their perception is and what they are thinking and feeling. So that's going to give us some insight into their mindset and their emotional space. So these cards here are representing you. These cards are representing them as they see themselves. And this is the connection itself. Also, these two cards kind of indicate the connection itself. So we'll start here. So we have the second chakra, which is the card that you chose, abundance, and then make a move. So they do definitely feel, and we also have, I don't know if these are salmon here, but if so, salmon are also sort of a symbol of abundance. But they know that this connection has a lot to offer. There's a lot of good here, but you see on this picture, these two people have their back to each other at the same time. It's like they feel that both of you want to manifest each other, or that you're trying to manifest a relationship, or you're trying to manifest progress in this relationship or in this connection. But they also feel that maybe there's a lack of initiative here with make a move, or the initiatives that each of you is making, because both people here on this card, they're trying to make something happen, right? They each have their magic wand up trying to bring about some sort of result, but it doesn't seem to be bringing results, regardless of the fact that there is this potential here for abundance. Now, the energy of the connection itself, as your person sees it, is stuck. So again, that sort of, confirms that they feel like maybe both of you want to say things in particular, because we have Gemini and Soldier. I feel like they think that you both have things to say to each other, but maybe you're holding back. And I don't know. So that's how they're seeing it overall. In terms of you are represented by Uranus, enlightenment, and also faithfulness. So they feel there's this sense of loyalty, that you seem to be someone who has a sense of loyalty, but you have loyalty to them, but you also have loyalty to yourself, because, you're a free spirit. You're an individual. But you also are loyal. Oh, and then we have the free will card. Yeah, so you've really got your arms open wide right now. This is how they see you, I think, even just as a person. Like, you're embracing all that life has to offer. You're open to all that is available to you right now. And you give them the same with this faithfulness. You want, according to their perception of you, you seem to want both of you to be able to just experience the thrill of living. That's how it's coming through here to me. And they feel that you do seem to have this, desire to remain in their life. But you're also very open-minded about it. Sort of like, c'est la vie, like, it would be great if we continue to be in each other's lives, but if we don't continue to be in each other's lives, the world has so much potential. There's so much to see. There's so much to do. So that's how they feel your energy is. They feel you're coming through as very happy, very lighthearted, just very full of life. On their end of it, they're represented by haughtiness and this peacock here, and then Jupiter, the ruler of expansion and reinvention. Also, this is related to the Wheel of Fortune card. So, I don't know. It's like they're in a place right now where they're not necessarily as lighthearted as you, but they are wanting more out of life. It's just a different approach. You're approaching life from a place of embracing all that the universe is offering. And they're embracing life kind of a little bit from a lack mindset, because they're sort of in a mentality of, well, life should be bringing me this and life should be bringing me that, but it isn't, So what am I going to have to do to get the ball rolling here? Why isn't life giving me all that I'm entitled to? So there is a sense of entitlement here on their end, but they are aware of it. They're aware that they're feeling this way. They're feeling that the world is not giving them what they want right now. And it's like they're trying to roll, it's like Sisyphus trying to roll this heavy boulder up a mountainside. And they're just like, what am I going to have to do? I have to change something. Am I going to have to change myself? Do I need to get a new attitude? Is my attitude the problem? What's the problem here? What's holding me back? Because they feel very deserving. They feel very deserving of all good things. They feel deserving of abundance, not just in terms of the abundance that this connection could offer, but the abundance that life could offer overall. But they feel like everything is blocked. The road to you is blocked. Maybe the road to, expansion with their money is blocked, or expansion in terms of, how much attention they're getting, because a peacock, usually indicates this sort of showiness of someone who wants to be seen and recognized. And even on this reinvention card, it's like they feel like nobody sees them. They feel invisible. And they're like, what do I have to do? What do I have to do to be seen over here? So that's overall what their mindset is. Let me tune in a little bit more about how they're seeing the connection itself, their thoughts about you when it comes to this romantic connection. What are their thoughts? They don't like where things are with you. This attitude that we picked up, this is their attitude about their life, but it also is their attitude about this connection. Like, I don't like this. This isn't fair. This stuckness that we have, the fact that this connection isn't going anywhere. I don't deserve this. We don't deserve this. This isn't the way that it should be, Let's see here. But it's almost like they're trying to accept it, because they're like, I guess this is just the way that it is, like this connection isn't going to come to its full potential without me being patient. So I have to learn how to be patient. But I do think that they feel that, it's not like they definitely don't want to give up. Right? I do feel like this person is trying to show you how they feel. And they're definitely thinking that that's important. If we're going to get anywhere here, I need to take some sort of initiative. I need to make sure that group 2 knows how I feel. But it's also like they're sort of trying to gauge whether or not you recognize their level of emotions anyway, because I feel like they don't want to reveal too much at the same time. Like, they know that risk is part of what's necessary to move things forward. But at the same time, they don't want to take too much of a risk. They want to take a calculated risk when it comes to you. They want to, it's like they want to buy the lottery ticket that they know for sure is a winner, right? Which it isn't possible. Not legally anyway, but in any case, they want to know for sure that they'll see results. They don't want to waste their time with you, and they don't think that they're wasting their time, but they are kind of afraid of that. Like, what if I put it in the time and the energy? What if I, expose how I'm feeling and nothing comes of it? So how are they feeling? Let's ask that next. So how is this person feeling for group 2? I feel like their pride is very tied into this. This is a very prideful person. They recognize it too. This is a peacock, right? I mean, they see you as someone who is a high value romantic interest or romantic partner, because they know that there are a lot of people who are attracted to you. So that both, it kind of intimidates them on the one hand, but it also is part of what sparks their interest. It is part of what makes them attracted to you, is that it's going to take effort. You know, they don't necessarily, they're not interested in being involved with someone who's going to be easy to get. Not for a relationship in any case. They also feel that you are truly their equal, and that's part of what's intimidating as well, because this is someone who is very prideful, but they know that you have a strong sense of your own self-worth, and they like that as well. They like that, you know, they don't want to date a doormat, and they definitely don't see you as a doormat. In fact, even though this person has a lot of confidence themselves, you trigger a little bit of their own insecurities, but even that to them is attractive, you know, because not a lot of people have that effect on them, and you do. So yeah, I mean, I'm not getting a lot of emotions. It's more about attraction. So those are two different things, I guess. They know that you are an attractive person. They find you physically very pleasing. They see you as a valuable partner or a valuable potential partner. And there's something about you that intimidates them. So tell us a little bit more about this Eight of Swords, about the insecurities that they have, or the insecurities that they're feeling, because that is, you know, one of the things at least that they're feeling that's an emotion. I mean, it seems like it puts them at peace. Like I said, you know, like they like finding someone who makes them feel that way. Interesting. Why? It just makes them more attracted. It increases their level of attraction. The fact that you make them feel insecure, or the fact that you make them face that part of their shadow. I think one way to put it is, it's like their fear that they're not going to be able to succeed with you, or their fear that they're not going to be good enough for you. Their fear that, you know, maybe you'll choose someone else because you do have lots of options. They like that fear because that fear indicates, again, that you are valuable. In other words, I wouldn't feel afraid of losing group 2 if they weren't a valuable person. So it's almost like that is the thing that tells them that they're into you. The fears that you bring up, they relate that somehow to their attraction. Fear of losing out on a really excellent option tells them that you are an excellent option. So it is coming through a lot like that. Like you are high value, you are, you know, an excellent option. It is a little bit objectifying in a sense, and I don't feel like this person's trying to objectify you. I just think that this person is not a very emotional person, you know? They are more of a take charge of life, dynamic. They definitely are coming through as very alpha type individual and very prideful. This person wants and needs recognition. They want and need people to see that they are special and that they have something to offer. So even when it comes to choosing a romantic partner, they have that in mind. You know, I mean, they're looking for a trophy, but they're not looking for a trophy who is mindless or has nothing else to offer other than their looks. They do find you very physically attractive, but it's your overall personality. that you're such a free spirit. The fact that you could slip away from them so easily is part of your appeal. It's a huge part of your appeal. Tell me a little bit more about, how they're viewing your personality. Well, you're very self-assured. You're extremely comfortable in your own skin. In fact, we have two images here of, someone a woman who's naked. You may or may not be a woman, but there's a naked man here too. But yeah, it's a sense of being comfortable in your skin, comfortable with yourself. You're a very grounded person, despite this very free-spirited, airy energy here. At the same time with the Queen of Pentacles, you're very grounded. You're someone who, I don't know, they see you as someone who kind of trusts the universe. They may feel that you're a very spiritual person in some sense. It could be more on the religious end of it, but it's like they see you as someone who is like, if I am a good person, if I do good works in the world, then I will be rewarded for that. And I think they feel that you are that kind of person. Like you have good karma, you are doing good in the world, and that good is coming back to you, which is, I think they feel that's part of why you seem to be just like floating on cloud 9 or something, is because you've created the karma that allows you to coast a little bit, or just to float through life. And they definitely see you as a very happy person. They see you as someone who's like consistently happy, someone who's capable of holding on to happiness as well, which is rare, right? I think for most of us, we go through cycles where, we have periods where we're feeling pretty good, and then periods when we're not. And for some of us, those cycles are more, more intense, or long-lasting in one direction or the other, or whatever. But they feel that you are someone who seems to be able to kind of hold on to your positivity and maintain a very lighthearted approach to life. Carefree. You're very carefree, but it's not like you're carefree in a stupid way, or, you're not coming across as like ditzy, where you're, forgetting to pay your bills or anything, because the Queen of Pentacles is always going to remember those types of practical concerns. She'll make sure she's keeping up with her chores, her laundry is done, her bills are paid, that type of thing. She's going to work, she's making sure that she has money secured in some way. But you also just maintain this very uplifted, positive mindset. I feel like this 9 of Wands is more their energy, but because they're sort of like, how do you do it? Because they have a very positive opinion of themselves, and they feel that they have a lot of potential to bring good results for themselves as well, but they're struggling. And while they're struggling, you're not. So it's kind of like they want to figure out what's your special sauce, group 2. Like, what are you doing, Like, what are you doing to bring about such good karma? Yeah. I feel like they're not sure if they're like, if I knew what your special sauce was, would I want to do that? Because, maybe I'm not, maybe I don't have what it takes to be as good of a person as you are, to be this person who is, worthy of such good karma. I don't know. It's interesting because I feel like they view themselves as sort of like your shadow counterpart, If the two of you were like a yin-yang symbol, you'd be the the half of the yin yang that's all like lightness and joy and love and kindness and sweetness. And they're like sour and selfish and, I don't know, a bit egotistical perhaps, but they don't view that. I mean, they don't look down on themselves for being that way. They sort of accept themselves as they are as well. Let's see. Yeah, but they like the fact that the two of you together are sort of this sweet and sour. You're the sweet to their sour. It's complementary. Okay, so we're going to go further with this. If you want to join me for the extended, these are the questions that we're going to look into. You can either purchase your extended reading as a singular purchase for $7.77 US dollars, or for the same price, you can join me on Patreon, starting out at the Goddess of the Love tier, and that will give you access to all of the extended readings for this video, as well as additional content available only to my patrons. So it's just whatever you prefer. I have different people who approach this differently. Some people purchase just their extended reading, and it's a one-time purchase. Or you can sign up for Patreon, which is a monthly subscription. Of course, you can cancel at any time. So if you just want to purchase it for 1 month, that's fine as well. It's just whatever works best for you. All right, so in the extended, we're going to be asking, what do they want to happen in this connection? Where do they want this to go? We'll also be asking, what upcoming actions can you expect them to be taking? They seem to recognize that some action is necessary here. And we're going to be looking at the likely outcome coming up in, let's say, 4 to 6 weeks from now. So within 4 to 6 weeks, what is the likely outcome? Where will the two of you be by then? We'll also get a channeled message from them to you, and we'll get some advice from your spirit guides about this connection, and or anything else that your spirit guides feel that they need to address with you. So again, if you want to join me there, the links, if you want to purchase through Gumroad for just your extended reading only, will be in the timestamp area. And then underneath that, you'll find the link to Patreon if you'd rather join me on Patreon. Either way, it's up to you. This was a pretty cool reading on its own, so if you feel like you got what you needed already, thank you so much for watching. I will see you around. Bye-bye. All right, group 3, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be seeing what your person is thinking and feeling about you and this connection. But before we start, I just want to remind you, everything that I say here is from their perception. So their perception may or may not be the same way that you perceive it, and it may or may not be the reality. But this is how they're experiencing this connection. This is how they're experiencing you. This is how they're experiencing their own feelings. So, and I also want to say for this specific group, like I think you'll know pretty soon whether or not this is for you, because I am getting a specific insight that, you know, first of all, this person is very much in love with you, because their energy is represented by this love card, but also by Pisces. But they're seeing you here with Mars and Sweetheart in Union. I feel like they are viewing you as already being involved with someone else, that you already have a sweetheart that you're maybe either just dating or in a relationship with, but they don't really see you as available. So it's kind of like they kind of feel like they have to release you, right? So this is what I'm seeing as their energy. This is the energy of the connection, and this is how they're seeing you. But they are loving you very much, sort of like from a distance and in their imagination, you know, like they get into these reveries about you. It's almost like they can feel your energy, even though you're not, you know, physically present, even though it seems that the two of you are not together. And we also have is just the energy of the connection itself, Neptune. which is, a planet that has to do with like escapism and imagination, fantasy. So it's not a very real concrete energy. And this is paired up with the Doctor card. So I'm just taking this sort of like symbolic that, something would have to be fixed in order for this connection to become grounded into reality. Right now, it's a beautiful fantasy in this person's head, but they're aware that it's not really real. I think that they accept that, though. It's like, I don't know, they like the fantasy. So in a way, they enjoy whatever this is, even though it is not real. The two of you are not really involved with each other, or you're not really in a relationship, but the emotions are very real, right? This person's emotions are incredibly real for you. And over here we have go with the flow and base chakra, building a strong foundation. So I think that the reason that they're okay with it is not because they don't want it to be real. I think that they do want it to be real, but they feel that maybe, this time of going with the flow is just what is necessary in order to build the foundation for the two of you to eventually come together in a solid relationship. And until then, they love to, be in their imagination, in their fantasy. They love to be up in their feelings. They're feeling a lot of beautiful feelings for you. So yeah, that's what I'm getting first of all. But let's learn more about their thoughts and feelings. So they think that right now going with the flow is just part of building a strong foundation here. Let's find out more what they're thinking when it comes to that. What does that mean for this person? Okay, so then we have a repeat of the Doctor here, because the Temperance card is a little bit like a Doctor too. It's almost like, I think they feel that, like being in their feelings for you and kind of like imagining the relationship even before it actually exists allows the two of you, maybe on an emotional sense, to kind of get closer to each other. It's like a very spiritual love, I think, basically is how they're viewing it. This is a very spiritual love. I think they do feel that both of you can kind of feel the love here, even if you're not available. And, I don't sense that there's cheating here. If there is, it's not I'm not speaking to that, it's your life. But it seems like just from a distance, there is love that is shared between the two of you, and that is spiritual in nature. And it forms a strong bond here. I think basically what their mindset is that maybe the two of you need the slow pace that this situation puts you in, like the slow development where you can kind of warm up to each other in a spiritual and an emotional sense without having the commitments, without having the, when you're in a relationship, there's a lot of responsibility. It becomes a little bit heavy. There's a lot of obligation. But when you're just like allowing your feelings to sort of marinate and develop, which is what they are doing, they feel that for them, that is a healthy approach rather than, jumping into a relationship and getting down to the brass tacks of what a relationship requires. They need the slow movement of feelings for you. They need the slow development of that, because I feel like this is a very sensitive person. This person is very emotionally sensitive. So even if you're not even communicating or not communicating very much, it's like to them, it still impacts them on such a strong level emotionally that they do really kind of need to take it, they need to kind of go with the flow of their emotions. And right now their emotions feel very peaceful with the way things are developing, even though it seems that the two of you are sort of developing this emotional connection from a distance from each other. Yeah, a lot of themes of water coming up here. I feel like this person really isn't sure where this is going. They don't really know what the potential is. I mean, they can imagine there being potentially a really beautiful outcome between the two of you, but they can also imagine that, maybe possibly the two of you, that nothing will come of it and things will just dissolve. Either way, there's a mindset of, it's better to be cautious than to rush in and just ruin everything. When things feel so uncertain, and especially because they feel that you've already got a relationship going on, there's something going on between you and another person. I think that they feel that the timing right now would not be conducive to the two of you being able to rush ahead. Yeah, so they're very at peace right now. So, I mean, at least at this point, maybe they felt differently in the past, who knows, but at this point, they feel okay with the fact that you are doing your own thing, that you've got something else going on, and they're kind of just trusting, like, if it's meant to be between the two of us, it will. Their feelings for you are very strong. I think that if you are involved with someone, they don't like that person very much. I will say that. They don't like the person that you're with, and they think that they would be a better match for you. I think they are paying attention to whatever's going on with you in, whatever this relationship or dating dynamic is that you're in. They're paying attention to that. They're kind of keeping tabs on you to see what is going on there. And sometimes that really does hurt their feelings, Maybe you and your person that you're with over here make social media posts, or maybe have some of the same people in common. And so, but somehow or other, the person that you're watching this for is keyed in to what's happening with you and this other person that it seems like you're in a union with. And I think that the person you're watching this for is probably single, because we're getting the Hermit card. I don't think they mind being single, but it hurts them sometimes to see your relationship dynamic with the person that you're with playing out. To have to observe that, because they do feel like you do have feelings for, if you're in a partnership or something, they think that you have feelings for that person, but it's also just whatever's going on here with you and that other person, it hurts the person that you're watching this for. So hopefully that this is all making sense, because we're talking about multiple people here. All right. So tell us a little bit more about what the person you're watching this for is feeling. We did get, I get the actual word love here, right? And we have Cupid. This person is very smitten with you, that's for sure. And then we get the World card coming up. So, but let's get a little bit more of the nuance. How is this person feeling for group 3? I feel like they view you as the best possible relationship match for them. You are their ideal mate. You are their ideal romantic partner. What I also feel is that, this person has had to, in their life, they've had to work through a lot of insecurities. And I think if they had met you at a different time in their life, they probably would not have felt confident enough even to consider, that they could be with you. They are at a much more confident place in their life now, but at the same time, you're not available, so it's like they're at a good place of confidence, but they still kind of have to walk away, and that's not easy for them. It's not easy for them because they know that the two of you are perfect for each other, or that's what they feel. They feel that the two of you are perfect for each other. Let's check in a little bit with what does this person think that you are thinking and feeling? What do they think that you're thinking or feeling for the person that you're with over here? And what do they think that you're thinking and feeling for them, the person that you're watching this for? They think that whoever you're currently involved with, this third person over here, not the person you're watching this for, but whoever else you're involved with, they feel that, I don't know, it's like you're with this person maybe for logical or practical reasons. They don't necessarily feel like you have deep feelings for them, but maybe there are strategic reasons why you need to stay in a relationship with them. They do feel that, this was a relationship that started out with romantic feelings. At some point, the two of you did have romantic feelings. You were sweethearts. But it has gotten to a point where it's really more of a practical issue. Maybe the two of you have children together. Maybe you share a business or something like that. Yeah, but it's like the person you're watching this for thinks that you and your current partner are just kind of stuck together, and maybe can't see a way out of it. Maybe can't see a way to end the relationship. They feel like you're staying with this person simply because staying with them is easier than moving on from them somehow. And they kind of feel like your partner is doing the same thing. That is a similar kind of thing where you both are, you need each other in a way. You need each other for kind of like practical reasons. And because of that, you seem to be sticking together and not moving on. Yeah. It's just like holding on because I can't see a solution. So how does the person you're watching this for think that you feel about them? They think that you feel, that this connection has gone through a lot already, even though the two of you are not actually together. You've been through a lot somehow in your connection. Wow, there's been a lot of hardship here. There's been a lot of heartbreak. This person thinks that you look at them very logically as well. And I think they feel that you may have certain criticisms of them, and it's like they kind of accept that for some reason. They accept that maybe there are things that you criticize about them. They feel that, that there are areas of their life where they need to improve. And so if you're critical of those areas of their life, they agree with it. And they do assume that you are critical of certain areas of their life, even if you aren't. Maybe you aren't critical of them at all. But they feel that you are, and they feel that it's sort of justified, so it doesn't really bother them. It's just something that they have an awareness of, at least in their perception, right? This is all about their perception. But they think that you are judging them But they do also think that you have feelings, for them and that you are attracted to them. Yeah, they think that the feelings are mutual. There is a feeling, too, of maybe like wanting to, let's see. Well, there's sort of like a feeling of like sweetness, of like almost like puppy love, you know? It's like a very sweet and innocent type of love, like lots of like hugs and kisses. I think they imagine that you would maybe enjoy doing that with them. You know, it feels like the two of you are probably not currently involved, but they do think that, they feel that you are like physically attracted to them and probably, sexually attracted to them, but they also feel like you would probably like to do a lot of the more like low-key things, like just kissing and snuggling and hugging and that type of thing, like butterfly kisses with them. They feel like maybe you wouldn't want to rush into, like you like the more innocent type of physical affection with them. This is, again, these are what their assumptions are. But I think part of why they're assuming that is because that's what they like, because this person does imagine you a lot. They are in a little bit of a fantasy world when it comes to you. And in their fantasy world, I think that the two of you do those types of things. They imagine snuggling and hugging and kisses, like sweet kisses. They imagine a lot of what your all's life would be like together. Yeah, very deep into their fantasy world when it comes to you. Okay, so we're going to find out more about this person and where this connection is going in the extended reading. We're going to find out, what do they want? Where do they want this to go? We've gotten a little bit of an indication about that. They're definitely fantasizing a lot about the future, but, what is that fantasy? What exactly do they hope to happen? And then what can you expect from them in terms of their actions? What are their upcoming actions towards you going to be? We're also going to be looking at the outcome of this connection in about 4 to 6 weeks from now. So where will this connection stand 4 to 6 weeks from now, from when you're watching this, at whenever point you happen to watch this? We'll get a channeled message from them to you, and then we'll get some advice from your spirit guides, which will probably be about the connection. Though, sometimes in my readings, spirit guides do pop in to talk about other things as well. So we'll just see what comes up. If you want to watch the extended reading, you can purchase just the extended reading for your option, option 3, and the link to that will be below. That's $7.77 US dollars, $7.77 through Gumroad. Or you can join me on Patreon for the same price and have access to all of the extended readings for this video, as well as other content that's already on my Patreon, such as a lot of pick-a-card readings and fun stuff like that. So you can check out those links below and see which one you would like, either purchasing through Gumroad just your extended reading, or joining me on Patreon and getting access to your extended reading, as well as a host of other content. So those are 2 options. Obviously, Patreon is a subscription service, but you can cancel at any time. I have some people who prefer to do the Gumroad thing, some who prefer to join me on Patreon. So just decide where it works for you. And all right. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you around. All right, welcome to everybody who chose option number 4. Before we get started, I just want to say that everything that I'm saying here in this reading is coming from your person's perspective. Whoever you're watching this for, your love interest, your partner, whoever you have in mind as you're watching this, this is their perspective. How they're perceiving you, how they're perceiving the connection, how they're perceiving their own feelings towards you. So your perception of things very well may be different. The reality very well may be different. But what we are looking at is their perception of things. So even when I'm speaking about you, I'm talking about you from their perspective. I'm not trying to tell you who you are, based on what your spirit guides see. I'm just talking about who you are from their perspective, etc. I think you get the idea. So, all right. So this person, first of all, this is representing their energy. This is yours. And this is the energy between the two of you. This is also kind of the shared energy over all of the connection. And it's give love. And also the first chakra, the base chakra, patience. As I observe in nature, growth takes time. This is a time for reflection, persistence, and surrender as things unfold at their own pace. I remain calm and tolerant during any challenging times. I develop quiet hope and expectations based on trust, both in myself and in a higher power. I think also this person is trying to develop trust of you, and they don't necessarily trust you. So we'll get into that. But the song that represents their feelings and just kind of how they're seeing the situation is Duran Duran's Hungry Like the Wolf. So there is like a mutual passion here, but it's almost like they're a little bit scared of you at the same time. And the way they see their energy is Leo with this surprise card and then contemplation. To me, it's like they almost feel, and their energy is foe, victim, and Sagittarius. I feel like this person is not really sure if you are friend or foe. And it's like they feel that you may just pop up at any moment and surprise them. And they're not sure if it would be a good surprise or a bad surprise. But they feel like you've always got something up your sleeve. And they feel, to be honest, a little bit scared of you because they don't really, your behavior sometimes, it seems like you're just trying to get attention from them. They do not know if they can trust you, basically. The energy in between the two of you is Virgo and misfortune. So we have analytical, hardworking, intelligent, reserved, helpful, critical, exacting, nitpicky, conscientious, responsible. It's like, I don't know, it's like, again, they don't know how to trust you because sometimes you seem like you're a very helpful person, you have a kind heart, you're just a hardworking, dedicated person. Maybe you're a little bit critical sometimes, maybe you're a little bit fussy sometimes, but then sometimes like you come out of nowhere and it's like you are like hell on wheels. It's like, where did that come from? Group 4 is secretly a devil. They try to pretend like they're this, sweet little helpful person. And then sometimes they do things that seem very destructive. So they're really not sure, what to make of you. I feel like they do have a lot of respect for you. And they do feel that you have a lot of respect for them at a certain level. But then, when you come in with this, raging, when you're like this raging horror, it's like, what's that little poem? Like there was the girl with the curl right in the middle of her forehead. And when she was good, she was very, very good. But when she was bad, she was horrid. And so, yeah, that's how they see you. I feel like they want to be optimistic about it. They want to try to find the humor in your bad behavior and laugh it off like, haha, oh, but then it's like a nervous laughter at the same time because they're like, I really don't know, what to expect from you. For all I know, you could go out and slash my tires when you get into one of those hellish moods. They really do not know what to expect from you. And they do feel like you're a force to be reckoned with. So if you wanted to do them harm, you could really do them dirty. And maybe you have before, but they are scared of you. Look, this woman, she looks so scared. And then we have this victim card. It's like, Like they feel that you could overpower them in some way as well, or just outdo them, outwit them, you know, whatever it is. It doesn't necessarily mean that physically you would do them harm, but maybe you would start rumors, you know, spread gossip about them. Like I said, it could be like slashing their tires or something. Like they're really not sure. They feel like you are capable of really doing a lot of damage if you wanted to. You know, it's like at the same time that there is this love, like they love and appreciate you, but they're just not sure. It's like you come across as being so transparent and like a goody two shoes. I feel like sometimes you come across as a goody two shoes, but then when you show your bad side, it's really unpredictable, you know, and it can become a forest fire and just really get out of control. So that's what I'm getting, first of all, about their thoughts and feelings for you. So let's look a little bit more into it. What is the person that group 4 is watching this for? Tell us a little bit more about what they're thinking about group 4 here. They do think that you're a very attractive person. You know, they think that you're fun. I feel like maybe the two of you have traveled together and they have enjoyed the travels that you have taken together. They've had a lot of fun. They've had a lot of enjoyable time. So a lot of their thoughts about you are actually quite pleasant. But at the same time, you know, they do feel currently at least that they need to defend themselves against you. Tell me more about that. You know, like there's love here. You know, we have this give love with these two people. They have these candles with little heart shapes at the top. And then the 2 of Cups. Like there's love here. Genuine love. But what? Tell us more about them. Like what is this defensive feeling that they have towards you right now? It's like they want peace with you. They do want peace and harmony with you, but they're not sure if they can have that. Yeah, we have the Sun, and then we had Leo. It's like, you know, the sun can burn bright, and sometimes it can burn so bright that it burns you. They don't necessarily trust your good intentions. You know, it's like if you came along and you know, presented with good intentions, like, hey, let me help you clean out your garage. There's a part of them that wonders, like, okay, while you're cleaning out my garage, are you going to, you know, steal something valuable and go sell it? You know, I mean, it may not be that specific worry. It's just they don't trust your good intentions, and they want to be able to trust you. They really do, like, because they see the best in you. And they want to be able to trust that the best of you is the best of you that can be sort of like guaranteed to be around. And they had a lot of wonderful times with you, and they want to have good times with you yet to come. They would love to have you in their life for years to come, you know. They can see themselves committing to you for the long haul. But they're also scared of you. So I'm just going to check in now. At this point, I am going to check in with your spirit guides and see, like, what do they have to say to you about the fact that this person is scared of you. So this part of it, at least, is coming from your spirit guides. Spirit guides, what should you say to group 4 about the fact that their person of interest is scared of them? So we have the Moon card. Yeah, I mean, your spirit guides are saying, like, your behavior has been confusing at times. And so there are valid reasons based on experiences with you. There are valid reasons for this person to be expecting the worst. There are valid reasons for this fear that this person has. That's what your spirit guides are saying. And your spirit guides are saying it's justified, it's understandable that this person would view that as a liability with you, because you do give off the impression that you plan to behave badly in the future as well. So this person genuinely never knows what to expect from you. So what do your spirit guides feel that you should do about that? There is something that needs to be resolved once and for all. I feel like there's a discussion that needs to be had about whatever has happened, the bad behavior, the behavior that has scared this person. A conversation needs to be had between the two of you so that you can both get the honest answers that you need. If you could sit down and have an honest conversation and talk about why you did those things, and this person could ask the questions that they need to ask and say the things that they need to say, you all could come to a place of understanding each other, and you could come back into a place of harmony, which is where this person wants to be with you, and you could get back into a place of trust with them as well. So that's what your spirit guides are suggesting. Whether you do that or not, normally I wait until the extended reading to get the advice, but for you guys, it really seemed like maybe that advice could be helpful already. So there we go. But now let's get back into this person's feelings for you. We've looked a lot about their thoughts. Tell us more about their feelings. I mean, I already get the sense like they do have a lot of positive feelings towards you, but let's get, the Sun card. I'm not surprised that came out again. You are such a source of happiness. Like they feel so carefree and happy about you, except for the part of you they've seen that terrifies them, which they cannot forget. It's like once you've seen it, you cannot unsee it, right? They can't unsee the good either, but they're not going to forget the bad that they've seen until they get that resolution. And that makes them hurt, like whatever happened between the two of you that was your bad behavior, it really hurt this person. I think part of why it hurt is because, they had this understanding of you as being such a good-hearted person, and what you did was such a betrayal of that. It really shocked them. I think that whatever you did, it would shock them coming from anybody, but it especially shocked them coming from you because this was just not their worldview of you. They did not see that you were the last person that they ever would have thought would have done this, would have behaved this way. And they still love you and they still care about you, even despite that. It's like, they have this patience. They do understand that, maybe they understand you've had to be patient with them as well. So they're willing to give that in return to you. Yeah, and they feel that you deserve, a second chance. As bad as whatever this has been, they do feel that you deserve a second chance. What is this trying to tell us? In some ways, I think that they wonder if you were trying to get back at them, Like maybe they accidentally hurt your feelings and they're like, okay, maybe that's why, this person did this to me because they felt that it was justified. So it's like, even though I don't think they necessarily feel that it was justified, they leave room for the fact that you might have interpreted their behavior before as being deserving of whatever you did wrong to them. And that's why, you know, I think they really also want to hash this out. They want to have an honest conversation about it and like understand like, okay, what exactly is it? You know, like what brought you to the point of feeling like that was an appropriate or reasonable thing to do? Because it was cruel. You know, this person experienced it as a very cruel act on your part. And they're willing to give you the benefit of the doubt still. But until they can understand it more through having a very open and honest conversation, you know, they're going to be kind of scared of you. They're not going to be able to truly trust you or let down their guard again until they understand why this happened. And I think that's what's necessary, you know, again, to give them the peace of mind that the two of you can continue to work forward in this. All right. So if you would like to join me for the extended reading, we're going to get more fully into this. We're going to be looking at what does this person ideally want from this connection? Like, where do they want this to go? If they could choose where this connection goes, what would they choose that to be? What do they want the two of you to become? We'll also see what actions you can expect from them coming up, their upcoming actions. We'll be looking at the likely outcome of this connection 4 to 6 weeks from now. So where are the two of you going to be in 4 to 6 weeks from whenever you're watching this? This is a timeless video. So 4 to 6 weeks from today as you're watching this. And we'll also get a channeled message to you, channeled message from their heart to yours. And then we'll also ask again your spirit guides if they have any more advice from you. Even though we checked in with them a little bit, we'll see if there's anything else they have to say about this connection or anything else that might come up. Because sometimes in my readings, spirit guides, when they have the opportunity to speak, they might decide that there's something else that they want to talk about. But all right. So the extended reading is $7.77. You can purchase just your extended reading with the Gumroad link that is located in the timestamps below, and that will give you access to your extended reading for this video. Or you can join me on Patreon, in which case you'll have access to all of the extended readings for this and any other videos I've done with extended readings, in addition to a bunch of really cool pick-a-card readings and other content. So it's just up to you. It's the same price, $7.77 for the lowest tier on Patreon, or $7.77 US via Gumroad, just for your specific video. So whichever route you want to take, I have, you know, some people who prefer one way and some people who prefer another. But either way, thank you so much for joining me for this portion of the reading. I'll see you at the extended, or I'll see you in a future video. See you later.